everybody. Welcome back to Reaper Pro Tips with me, your host, and a squeaky Kiki sitting here, and our lovely zombie wrangler, Quindy, Justin, John, Kiki with a toy, which she just threw at you, but you didn't see it. Hi. Why did you throw the ball at the chat? Why did you throw the ball at the chat? Can you pick that up again? Yeah? Can you pick it up? Can you be up here? You don't want to jump up on my leg, it's too slippery. Yeah, because I put on my really lightweight pants this morning because it's going to be a scorcher again today. Yes, Kiki is here and shaking her ball at you all, but she does not want to. Yes, see? But no, Baba. It's time for work. And I know I missed some subs up here, so let me scroll up. Gotta scroll up, must scroll. Oh no, Turgeon. Eek, eek. You know what? Chapter 20, you're halfway through. You're good. Just keep chugging. Keep chugging. I really appreciate it. I know you have a good eye for catching errors, so. All right. I need to go back up and say thank you to a whole bunch of people. Here we go. You're in an ad. Quindy, of course, thank you. I'm always thanking you, but I'm going to thank you even more now because you just resubbed with your Prime sub for 44 months because you're awesome. Why else? Carrie, also awesome. Oh no, as long as people are talking, it pops me back down. Carrie Michael. Ooh, it's a triple subversary. Okay, one second. I have to go. Reaper Miniatures, why did you just talk and pop me down on the chat? Grr. And then Julia Trent. For 24 months. Oh, we've got double, triple subversaries. Okay. For Julia, for 2 years, 24 months. Double subversary. Happy double subversary. There you go. Pretty good for being first thing in the morning, and I haven't warmed up my voice. Yeah. Right, Kiki? Right? Kiki's right here, too. She's terribly excited. She says, thank you, everybody, for the subs. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the subs. Oh, Mama will sing again in a second, but I'm excited. I get excited when Mama sings, don't you? Yeah. My gigantic dog. Off. Now you're Nibbly. Okay, Nibbler, go. I gotta swing. I gotta sing to other people. Good girl, Nibbler. I gave you a bully. Where is it? I'll be back. Maybe I'll let you in when you've calmed down a little bit. Oh, all right. Wait. And then, wait. Carrie Michael Cosby with the 36er. Triple subversary. Happy triple subversary. We appreciate it. All righty. Oh, I know. 2 subversaries at once. Now I got to catch up on chat. I got to catch up on the doings of my biggest... Oh, blood sugar. Oh, yeah. Yeah, blood sugar. Ugh. Yeah, but at least you knew you needed help and you went. I mean, as someone with med crap, I'm debating right now whether I should go to get myself a guts doctor. A specialized guts doctor. Yeah. I'm glad you're doing better, Turgeon. Yeah, the puppy is a monster, Julia. The puppy is a monster. Total monster. I had a rough day yesterday too, Turgeon, so I feel it. I did not end up in the ER, but yes, in spirit I was with you. Some days the body is just like, I'm gonna do this. And you're like, oh, all right. I guess that's a thing. Yeah, so it is what it is. Yes, and you all got a rampant Kiki, so a Kiki rampant, not Argent, whatever they call a shadow Kiki. She's too dark. All right. Yeah, so there we are. Oof. Yeah. Oh, let me plug in my phone or I will lose charge. We don't want that. So yeah, it's gonna be a scorcher here today. I started out wearing my jeans this morning and then it already ticked up to 73 in the house. And I'm just like, nope. So I went and I changed into my really I have these really lightweight, like yoga pant type things that are just super thin cotton, kind of like they'll kind of like parachute pants, like they're that billowy kind of thing. They're super lightweight and they're super cool, and that's what I had to wear today because I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna wear jeans. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm still most days I'm fine, but like it just seems like whenever anything like ticks them over, the more unpredictable things, they're getting a little more unpredictable. So I kind of feel like I need a guts doctor. I've managed without it for now. I've managed to manage myself. But the problem is finding somebody like who isn't going to say, okay, we're going to change everything, and I'm going to be like, no, we're not going to change everything because things. Somebody who is kind of a partner in your own healthcare, if you know what I mean, instead of somebody who just wants to give you a bunch of orders to do stuff because you're their guinea pig. But anyway, the last time I talked to a guts doctor, I had a really bad vibe, so I guess that's part of my little me moment. But yeah. Yeah, it's true, Carrie. That's what's getting me. I mean, I have a name because I have to have my colonoscopy this year anyway. So since we have to do the colon scope, we may as well see if that doctor is, in general, a cool dude and open a dialogue. Because they still don't know if my stuff is like actually Crohn's or something related, right? That's the thing, is we got a tentative diagnosis, but all this gut stuff can look really confusing, and it isn't always evident, like what thing you got. So yeah, it's that kind of thing. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I hope I can find a good one out here. My problem is I found the best doctors ever when I was in Texas, and so out in California, so far I haven't been as lucky, but I'm going to try this dude and see. I'll put that on my official to-dos today. We'll just make it a to-do thing. Call Guts Doctor is what we'll put it on the list for, so it makes me giggle when I do it. There we go. All right, it's on it. It's on it, folks. It's on the list. The list of doom. The list I live by. But yeah, I don't want to be that person. Like after lecturing my mother to be proactive about her health, I'm trying not to slide back into the whole everything is okay kind of, thing that we get into. All right, so we got some bricks. Bricks. We're going to paint bricks today. And then if we go through our bricks in short order, I'm going to let you guys choose the next model. Yeah, exactly. And see, that's the thing, Agent Marvel, is like, I know how little they know because I read the papers and I do the research myself. And so it's like, I know how very Sherlock Holmes everything is in the medical profession. And I'm like, all right, how many bunny trails are we going to have to go through to figure out what's actually wrong with me, right? So, but I mean, it presented like Crohn's and it acts kind of like Crohn's, and I feel like that's it. So I feel like maybe I just have to like pay more attention to little things in my diet that might be tweaking me. All right, but let's figure out bricks. She's on bricks. And you know what? We don't paint bricks normally. So let us kick that to the curb, and grab my Google bricks. I'm gonna type in colored bricks. Even though all bricks technically are colored, but perhaps multicolored bricks, I was thinking, for this. And to see images and to look at things we might do. There's all sorts of things we might do. Hold on, let me get my glasses on. Yeah, the thing is that I'm pretty good at reading people, and so when a doctor comes in and they're just like, we want to run all this, and we don't even know that you need that, and blah blah blah, and I'm just like, you're trying to get a lot of money out of me, aren't you? And I'm like, done. Like the last one, the one that really tweaked me off was my colonoscopy that I got right before I moved to California, and he was going through that whole rigmarole. And then I said, well, I don't know that I'm not going to be here very much longer. You know, I'm only going to be here for a few more months. And that shut him right down. Like, he lost all interest in me. Because guess what? So, yeah. Yeah, the Kiki sighting. So this is interesting. I hadn't thought about doing paler bricks. The blue taupe is kind of pretty. We're not doing rainbow. Much as that would be very Cathy. That would be very Cathy, but no, everybody would be looking at this model like, what the bleep? What the bleep? Different bricks? That's promising. That's promising. We may have to go a little more neutral. And maybe put, I don't mind popping in a couple of bright colored bricks here and there, so that's, because that's very Cathy. But otherwise, I think we need to go a little more neutral than that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's difficult to change doctors, yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, well, he wasn't my normal doctor, like he was just the colonoscopy, but that's how I tend to find, you know, that's how you find people, is you get referred for one particular thing, and then you're like, okay, is this guts doctor a good guts doctor? Do I maybe want to open a, you know, a more relationship with them? But that guy gave me just a bad vibe. My problem is that I've been blessed with really, really good doctors. So, like, that's the bar. The bar is here. It's like sky high for any new doctor I pick up. Yeah, but unfortunately they don't, because doctors and hospitals and clinics don't talk to each other, right? That's the problem. It's like they can't really, they don't know anybody out here, right? They can't tell you anything. I did ask my regular doctor if she knew anybody out there. She's like, there are a lot of really good specialists out there, so that at least gives me hope. Um, but maybe I should contact her, my old doctor, and ask her, hey, do you know anybody out here really? Um, we're not going to base it on the color scheme because the color scheme is so bright, Pendrake. I mentioned that already. I kind of like something like this one. Kind of like something like that one. It would be very hard, though, and there'd be a lot of stippling. Let's see here. Let's go back to here. Oh. Well, that's a little bit oversaturated. You know in real life it's not that bouncy. Some of these, that's the problem with photographs, is often it's overdone. Huh. I was kind of scrolling through. I'm doom scrolling bricks to look for the right brick. Maybe that pinky one. A pinky brick might actually work well for Cathy. So I'm going to keep going, looking for that pinky brick. Or something else that works well for me. Although that's a classic Texas right there. That's all. There was a lot of stonework and brickwork that looked like that when I lived in Texas. Let's see here. Maybe I just need to type in pink bricks, because it's giving me too many weird multicolored crazy things that I just don't want. That's more classical, but that's too bright. Pink bricks. I'm afraid this will take me too bright, too crazy. Yeah, I don't need that. I want natural. Yeah, more like a clay, like terracotta, right? Oh, nice. Oh, Carrie, yeah. I don't want to do, I have an idea now in my head after scrolling what I want. Pendrake. But I am looking for something more. Oh, I don't want to do that. Back. No, forward. No. Sometimes my Googs just, like, makes me unhappy. Maybe we could do something that's more like the blush and gray color here, but a little bit more intense than that, but not crazy intense. But maybe we do gray and pink. would start everything with gray. I think we'd do the gray, we'd do stippling in a very haphazard fashion, maybe even some really crazy wet blend stipples and then some tighter stipples. And then we'd do some glazing to get that pink, and we'd use that magenta to do it. I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to do that. I want to, let me see if I can get a high res tap image to zoom. Yeah, I can. All right, cool. I'm going to just screenshot this and save it. Save it to my pictures. Pictures. Done. Save to photos. Great. And now we've captured it. We have captured it. Oh, do you guys want to see kind of a cool writing thing? It's a sales thing. I was doing marketing stuff yesterday. I'm learning. I told you I was taking that Amazon ads course. I learned something really interesting from it. I learned that you can't just go by your ads dashboard because it doesn't report everything, which I knew. It doesn't report like Kindle Unlimited reads. So what you can do is you can go in and you can see your rank, your Amazon rank, but you can see a record of it. And so I did, and look at all the spikies. Like it's so interesting. So this is for 6 months, so it covers there's my release. But look at how high I peaked over here. And you know what day that was? That was the day that I ran the last email promotion stuff, when I did those mailing list services. But you can see how it fluctuates, right? Because you're going to hit rock bottom when you don't sell a book on a day, right? Or not rock bottom, but rock bottom for you, right? Which for me is about 1 million rank. And given that there are like 10 million books in the Kindle store, 1 million is still okay. But yeah, so it was really fascinating to me. And what that is because I haven't necessarily gotten sales on all these days, but what I've gotten are maybe Kindle Unlimited borrows, and that's what I'm seeing. Because in August right now, my sales dashboard says zeros. But obviously I got 1 or 2 Kindle Unlimited borrows in here, and so that's what's showing up. But anyway, I thought that was really interesting. I thought I would share it for those of you who like data and like to see, like, it's just kind of funky. But that's how a book's rank, especially a newer book, actually fluctuates. Like, it's very funky. But yeah, I had such a nice peak, such a high peak when I did that email promotion. So now I'm really excited because when the new book comes out, I've got like 3 email promotions lined up, and one of them is like a super featured one where I got my book in 1 email. Like, so I'm hoping, I have many fingers crossed for that. Many fingers crossed. And it happens right on release day for West of the Moon. So super excited. All right, let's start with this gray. Let's take a look at our gray. Let's not geek out on author stuff today, much as I want to. So this is a warmer gray. If we look at it really close, we can see it's actually quite brown. And that's why it's working really well with this kind of fleshy pink. So that looks like even a little more brown than weathered stone. So let me see, do I have stone gray over here? I know I have stone gray. All right, so stone gray. Actually, that's very close. Look here, and it's actually stone gray is every bit as brown. So essentially, if we add white to stone gray, because I don't think I've got actual weathered gray in there, but it should end up right around this color. So you can see how accurate the Stone Colors triad actually is. That does actually look like clay. So I'm going to pop that in and do that. Yeah, my colors have shifted a bit on my, you can see because my gray has gone to greenish colored, but in reality, let's see if we can sneak up on it. Yeah, a little bit. So I'm trying to shift it, but yeah, you can see kind of it's closer. So I'm thinking then that stone gray plus white, maybe even plus a little bit of maybe cairnstone, which has some yellow in it, will push it that way. But yeah, so I got lots of stuff I got to do today. Today is full of to-dos. Today is full of to-dos, guys. It is. It's the day to talk briefly about other writerly stuff. I start my strengths intensive today, so that's my coaching. My writer coach who does the Clifton Strength stuff. They do strengths intensives where they just concentrate on one strength that you want to improve. So you can sign up for these. And mine is strategic, because that's my #1 strength, actually, is strategic. I feel like it's pretty good, but I'm just trying to see if there's a way I can make it even better, because I depend on it very heavily in my writing and in my day-to-day, honestly. Oh yeah, yeah. Dapple Gray Horse makes total sense with the Stone Triad Hyper Bunny. So essentially, I could use a yellow, or I could use linen, but I've already got a yellowish stone, cairnstone. So why don't I just use that to lighten it? So I'm going to use 4 drops of the stone gray, and then I'm going to go with some cairnstone over here. Remember, we want it to go light and dark dapples, kind of. So it's kind of good I'm starting with the stone gray and not straight up, because this is very speckly and dappley, right? So what I'm going to be doing here is I think I'm going to get some pure white too. And I'm going to start out actually with a wet blend stipple to get these randomized patterns. Then we'll look at glazing parts of different stones with either our more of our stone gray or the magenta to get that effect of that pink brick. So I want to, because I'm starting with wet blending, I do not want to make mixes of these colors. Instead, I want these colors to be themselves. I do want to add a little bit, you know, it's probably wise for me to actually put down a layer of stone gray first, full strength, because I want to cover up this green stuff. If I try to thin it and do the wet blend over it, it's probably going to leave some green peeking through here and there, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna deal with that. And then we will do our stipple wet blend. We'll be doing probably a much finer brush than I usually use for this, because we're working on a 28mm base with very small details. So if we want to have the stipple, like, you know, don't just blorf over multiple bricks, we want to have a little bit more more close in detail, then we want to use a smaller brush for our stippling. On a big terrain piece, I use a huge brush for this. And I actually do have a video on my Patreon about doing this technique on a piece of terrain that I did a while ago. All right, I'm going to add just a little bit of brush, a little bit of water on my mixing brush, just to make this a little bit more fluid. Just a tiny touch less than full strength. And I'm going to use that to just lay down some color and see if the strength is good. Yeah, it'll cover the green with this. And you can see it's pretty much almost the same color as the Bones USA material. It's a little browner, but it's very close. All right, so that's a good consistency. So I'm going to reach for a smaller brush. Yes, yes. Yeah, I'm excited. Today I should have that fundamentals video up. First one I've had up in months. I gotta finish editing it, and then either today or tomorrow, depending. I've got a lot on my plate today, but either today or tomorrow I'll have the PDF for that up on my Patreon. So the companion PDF, and this should be this. I'm hoping this is interesting because it'll both let me, like, it saves me a little bit of work because I can get 2 things done with the same kind of resources, if you understand. But at the same time, it's actually better for the $2 people, because it means every month they're going to get both a video, because they get the fundamentals video early, and the companion PDF for it, which I usually, these days, I have not had the time to do. So hopefully the $2 people are super happy about this, and if you don't have much money, but you want to help me out and be a patron of mine, the $2 level is extremely inexpensive. So, on purpose, because I know a lot of people, a lot of my friends, a lot of the college kids came to Paint Club, and plenty of non-college kids as well. You know, money is tight. We like to support our favorite people on Patreon, but there's so many of them, right? So instead of making my lower tier $5, I made it $2 on purpose for that reason. But there have been plenty of months where I've questioned that, because the $2 tier takes up as much energy. You know, if you look at all the stuff I've done for it, it takes just as much energy as the $10 tier. I try to do more advanced topics in the $10 tier. I try to, I'll do longer videos in the $10 tier, or more exhaustive PDFs in the $10 tier. But in general, I questioned whether the $2 tier wasn't actually costing me money, just because I was putting so much into it. Because that's the thing about me, is I put so much of myself into everything I do, even if that thing doesn't really get me anything. And because I'm committed to doing a good job, it's just part of my work ethic. And so I had to find a way to feel like I was still giving the $2 peeps a good value, like a good fun, a good content, quality content that they could learn from. But at the same time, not be spending so much time on it. Yeah. Yeah, because it's rough, right? I've got so much going on. I mean, the books obviously, but even just with the Patreon, it took me forever to balance out. And I'm still not ideal. Like I'm still like my coaching lags. Like I've gotten fewer. I do fewer and fewer coachings now. I've only got one coaching student left, and I feel like I've totally I've neglected him so much, and that feels bad. So essentially, this is my fix, so that I'll have more time each month to concentrate on that coaching. He is a very understanding individual, but I'm just like, I've got to do better. I've got to do better on this. Well, technically I have 2 coaches, but one of them is not on the Patreon. One of them is separate. And I don't know how much longer I'll do the coaching, but if I can free up some time, then it'll be tempting to keep it going. Hey, Daffod Weir. Wow, so many subs today. 46 months. Thank you so much. We're just doing a quick base coat. We're going to do some wet blending on these bricks. And I'm going to we found a brick that I think works for Cathy. It's a pink brick, and we're going to do it a little more intense than this. But we got to start out, and I'm starting out in a gray because when I look down at this ground color, this color here, the darkest color of the gray, looks very, it's definitely like a stone gray. So I'm going to do a combo of that and like cairnstone and white. I'm going to do a wet blend, and then we're going to glaze some magenta over it. But yeah, so it's been, I don't know, it's always a struggle when you're a creator. You're constantly like trying to balance the act of creation and then all the administrative things that go with that, right? Like you're creating, but then you're also, you're planning and you're trying to figure out how much you can fit into your time, and you're doing all that stuff. And then you're also like executing on, and not just the actual making of the thing, but you have to edit the thing and make sure the thing is a good quality, and then you have to like put the thing up, and write posts about the thing and do stuff like that. It's never just creating. So people make the mistake of thinking, I see this a lot in my self-publishing Reddit, where a lot of people are like, well, I just want to sit and write books. And it's like, well, you can do that, but then you essentially are like, you're saying, I want my books to be a hobby. But that's not what they want. They want to just write books, but then they want to, have success. And it's like, well, if you want success, then you also have to do all these other things. And that's what many of them just don't like to hear. But it's true of every creator thing. If you've ever thought about making like a part-time gig, about, being a creator of some sort, always never underestimate the time it takes you to conceptualize, plan, execute, edit, polish, post, tweet, whatever, right? It's always a part of it, right? And in case of writing, then also advertising, marketing, if you want your book to be seen. I felt like this Amazon ads course I took really opened my eyes to some stuff about Amazon ads. I'm actually excited, because I really didn't want to do Facebook. Not yet. Not really. Not before I had several books. But I like Amazon ads. Like, I want to like them. And now I feel like I'm better set up. Grey Wolf. Another sub. Crazy. Oh, that's okay. Grey Wolf, I get it. Like, some months do be like that. Some years do be like that. Don't guilt yourself. You get back to it. Just work out all the stuff that's keeping you from painting until you can shelve it, and then happily come back to painting with all of us. We will be here with open arms and open eyeballs to look at what you've been doing. All right, so you've got our base stuff lined up. Now I will do some lining on this. These bricks don't really have mortar, so we're not going to really have that to worry about. So I will most likely be doing a darker line like a fieldstone wall. Pendrick, I have a X account. Trying to like shift my brain. The non-bird account. The account formerly known as Twitter. We can do that. We can do the Prince thing, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, is that correct? I mean, there were a lot of years where I was not actively painting when I worked at Reaper because I was so burned out and I was just making paint and I just felt like doing other stuff. Like, it's fair. Almost all of us go through it. Just don't feel bad. Don't guilt yourself about it. That's the big thing. That's the big thing. But yeah. I avoid the suck of it. It is useful in marketing, but not as useful as I think people think. Depending. Running paid ads actually is useful. For many writers, Facebook ads work very well, but only when you've got a series of books. Otherwise, it can be a big money and time sink. So I'm avoiding that. I go to Facebook for business. I go to Facebook because I post on my author page. I go to Facebook when I have to check something or make a post about something for the dog club because most of my dog club people are on Facebook. I go to Facebook sometimes to look up a miniature painter just to see what they've been working on because often they will post there or Instagram. But I hate going to Instagram. I'm not an Insta fan. David is. David keeps me up on what's going on Instagram. I'm adding just a little bit more water to my stone gray. I've got to get that area of tiles in between her feet because the Bones USA looks so much like stone gray. Like, you can just barely, can you see it? Like, it's just, stone gray is just a tad darker. It's the same color. So I just need to be able to make sure I get that coat down. But yeah, so I don't really go to Facebook unless I've got something business related that I have to do there, and then I'm very seek and destroy at that point. Seek, destroy, get off. I sometimes will scroll through the top 10, like the top 10 posts, just so I can keep somewhat up on what my friends are doing. Oh yeah, the Prince thing to describe the Twitter. Yep. But otherwise, yes, I find social media takes too much away from my writing and creative time for not enough. It doesn't give me enough in return. And in the olden days when I did go to Facebook a lot, because all my dog friends were on there, I wanted to keep up with all of them. I just found myself, I actually experienced that thing where they say if you spend a lot of time on Facebook, you feel depressed. I experienced that thing. And that was when I decided I'm done. So I removed my Facebook icon from my phone long enough to break my habit chain. And then when I put it back in a different place on my phone, on a different page. And I just weaned myself off of it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, miniature. Yeah, so I'm glad he liked it. See, this is the rule about social media is like, and it's true, like if you start doing it as a creative, like you share your miniatures or you do, in my case, writing and miniatures or whatever, but only do the social media that you actually enjoy. And that's a hard call because sometimes people will say, "Why don't I enjoy any of it?" Well, it's like, well, then just write the next book or post your miniatures on the Reddit. You know, like I actually enjoy Reddit because it's more like a traditional forum, which is actually what I like. I like that kind of interaction. Um, and so, you know, that's a social media that I can get behind. But I also have to police myself because I know if I get into it, I'm going to be on there. I'm going to be on there and I'm going to lose an hour. So I can't do it. David loves Instagram. I tried while I was still at Reaper and I launched the Patreon. I made an effort to post every week on Insta a new model picture, a work in progress usually, because that was what I was doing. But I didn't really enjoy it and I didn't see any conversion from it. So after I think about a year, I stopped. I just was like, not worth it. Because I was stressing out over, do I have anything that I can put on Instagram this week? You know, I was doing that. And it wasn't worth it for me. So I just don't enjoy Insta that much as a content creator. But I really like Reddit. I like YouTube and Twitch a lot. I can thank this job for that. Okay, we're going to do our wet blending. Let me get these guys mixed up. I don't hate Facebook. Like, if I had to choose one of the biggies platforms to do, pardon me, I'm straightening out my camera here. I'll do Facebook. That's why I've got my author page on Facebook. I like to go and post on Facebook and have all the people who follow me be able to, read that update. I think that for like when you're following your favorite authors, even if you don't see their posts, at least you've got somewhere that you can go to when you're like, oh yeah, is the new book out? And you go to Neil Gaiman's page and you see the new book is out, right? So that's what my Facebook page for my author, for A.E. Becker author, really is like updates on the books. Every once in a while, a cute Kiki picture. I'm about to post a cute the derpy Kiki picture on my Facebook. But mostly, that's my keep up to date on Anne and her writing and how it's going. If you're not on this stream, obviously, I usually do talk to you guys about it because like you're the Twitch family, you're the Reaper Twitch family, and I feel like, hey, I can talk about this to my Reaper Twitch family. So I'm putting 1 drop of water in, so I'm going to 4-to-1 on these. This lightweight one is Cairnstone. You can see that it is actually darker than the pure white. I don't know how much pure white I'm going to put in. It depends on how well the Cairnstone works with the stone gray. If I feel like I need that punch of pure white, then I will pop in with that as well. Yeah, see, TikTok, I looked at it. And I actually took a course, a mini course on if you want to promote your books on TikTok. And that was enough for me to know that I do not want to. Because usually, although there are exceptions, if you want to find success on Book Talk, you've got to post a lot. And honestly, I would rather be writing than producing videos every day. Like, I feel like that would, like TikTok would take so much time away from writing North of the Wind. Like, I'm tempted to just, like, do a video every once in a while just to see. But that's not how you really get successful at it. Like, you don't get people. And you also, like any social media group, community, like, you need to become a part of that community if you really are going to be effective with it. And it's true on Wattpad and it's true on TikTok, I think, very much. Where if you are going to, and Facebook obviously is about, about that bigger community too. But I feel like on some of these, like if you're a TikToker, like all the slang, all the Easter eggs, you know what it means when somebody's wearing a crown in a photo. There's all this hidden culture that's developed on that particular media platform. And that's a big investment of time to become part of a community and to care and to spend time on it. So I think that's why they advise us to like don't go to advertise on a social media platform for reals, like put a lot of time into it unless you really, really enjoy it. Because, then you're just, and it's the same like if you're just trying to get your name out there as a painter and you're like, oh, I've got to do Instagram. Well, okay, you can try to do Instagram and it may get your name out there. Does it really like drive anybody to your YouTube or to your studio page or to whatever? Oh, that depends, right? Yeah. Oh no, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, Agent Marvel. You've got the content already. You shoot a short video, you pop it up. You don't worry very much, right? Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. See, that's smart. Like that's like me getting double value out of the content that I do for fundamentals, because the thing is I realized that because I need the fundamentals videos to be so very short and concise, because YouTube and this is what it is on YouTube, I was outlining them really extensively, like almost pretty much point by point. And I'm like, why am I not just putting this into a PDF and elaborating on it a bit, right? Doing a little bit of extra explaining and then putting it out on Patreon. Like, why am I not dual purposing this?